Yeah, wanna be more than friends. Even abuela says I'm a novela.
Within each artist lies a resilient spirit, one that defies fears with exhibitions of expression. I'm Moe the Mōs, and as most of y'all may know, I travel a lot. Whether on roads less traveled or off the beaten path, I've discovered there's an oasis around every corner. As an artist, I'm drawn to art wherever I go. And beyond that, to the journey and struggle of those who create that art. This is one of those journeys. This is Opus Travel Art. Okay, I have a confession. Reyna Mar, is like family. Raised in North Jersey, my producer Kareem helped guide her through the early years of her career. I had the privilege to sit down with her once before. Back then, we discussed her love for music and theater. But the one thing that stood out in this young breath of fresh air was her love for her familia. The laughs we shared, discussing her devotion to her craft, is directly connected to the freedom she possesses. It's a freedom deeply rooted that can be heard throughout her music. Polished pearls of wisdom passed on by her abuelas.
Rosa. Rosa. ¿Dónde va? Oye. Oye. ¿Dónde va? ¿Aló? ¿Aló? No, cuidado, ahí. Papá.
Summer nights on the hood of your car under moonlight, counting all of the stars.
I feel like the EP is definitely going to be a window into who I am, not only who I am as an artist, but also culturally. You know, in this EP, I mix English and Spanish, which I really love because that's a part of who I am. But, you know, novela is about the ups and the downs, and I feel like in life, that's really all it is. It's like a roller coaster. You have the ups, you have the downs.
Hey guys, I'm Reyna Mar. How you guys all doing? So excited to be here tonight in NYC. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm gonna start off with a novella, my debut single. I hope you guys enjoy.
For the first time, I'm gonna be, you know, releasing my own original music, and it's so terrifying because I feel like I'm letting people in to my life, you know, because my lyrics are so personal.
I could live hard on my break hearts. I could live hard on my break hearts. Can you take me with the ups and the downs? Do you want me 'cause I'm wanting you now? I'm not into games and I don't believe words. Yo no tomo cuenta así que por favor. Maybe I could be the one, or maybe this is just for fun. And then it's over when it's done. Maybe I could be the one, or maybe this could be for real. So baby, tell me how you feel. Don't you know I'm in novela?
With her self-titled EP, Reina Mar has taken everything she's learned from her relationships in life and poured it all in, leaving no stone unturned. Her openness and honesty presents a genuine window into the roller coaster ride we call love. And regardless of what your background or situation, there's no question that this EP gives everyone something to relate to. So Rosa, long time.
Mo, I
Man.
know. I've been great.
Yeah.
I've been great. Yeah, keeping myself busy, but that's a good thing.
That's good. On the way to the show right now.
I know. Out in NYC. I'm debuting, I cannot believe it, in New York City.
How
This is gonna be awesome.
How does this gig come about?
So the venue has been trying to reach out to me for a while now, and I've just been super busy doing shows here in Jersey.
Yeah.
That I've kind of been telling them, oh yeah, like maybe in a few months, and I finally had this opening in March, and they found me on Reverb Nation, which is like, you can put artists your electronic press kit, and they called me, emailed me, and I was finally like, you know what, let me definitely give this venue a chance. And then John, the owner of the venue, called me at New Old Rock Deli. They go by Nord.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've been wanting you to come and perform here for so long. They actually know my cousin Danny Milano, which has performed there as well. And that's pretty much how they found me, through Reverb Nation.
Yeah. So what's your process like before you perform, before you get on stage? What is your process like?
So I definitely meditate, because that'll recenter me. And what I struggle with performing is the anticipation before the show. Just that is what gets me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, it's butterflies. Yeah.
Yeah, the butterflies, because you kind of think of like all the things that can go wrong.
Of course.
So meditating just recenters me and calms me down. And I always ask myself, did you do everything that you could to prepare for this? And it's, I of course I do. My work ethic is amazing. So the answer is yes all the time. And that kind of just brings down the nervousness a little bit. And usually when I get on stage, I feel fine. I feel like when I get on stage, I'm home. My hairstylist was just asking me this. You don't ever get nervous on stage? And I'm like, before I do, but once I'm on stage, it's like being home. There's like a certain familiarity when I do. Maybe about 10 to 15 seconds in, I'm just super comfortable, and I know that I'm meant to be there. But yeah, definitely meditating and recentering myself before getting onto the stage really does help a lot.
Sounds good. Your heritage being Cuban, how does that play into your music, into your craft, like everything you do musically? Like, how does that, where does that fit in at?
Sure. So in my music, I love to add in Spanish lyrics, and that again showcases my culture, which I really truly love. Before I started writing original music, I was doing a lot of regular pop songs, country songs, and things like that, just doing regular cover
Popular
kits.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and when I really got into Latin music, I was doing the New York festivals, the Puerto Rican festivals in New York, like the 116th Festival in Harlem and the Puerto Rican Day Parade and things like that, and I was doing Latin music for the first time, and I was like, oh no, I gotta bring this into my music, because I just feel very one with my culture, and my culture's so beautiful, and I would love to showcase it into my music, and that's what I did. So Novella was my debut single, and I didn't think my debut single was gonna have that Latin vibe to it with the Spanish lyrics, and it did, and I was so happy. I was like, this is how I'm gonna come out to the world with a Latin pop song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
And I do identify as a Latina, Latin pop artist. And I just feel really blessed that I get the opportunity to showcase my culture through my music.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about before your grandmother and the instrumental part that she played, and not just your upbringing, but also in your music and the performance that you did at the Sakone Theater.
She considers herself American, not Cuban. Why? Well, she says that America has granted her all the opportunities for her and her family. I did not come here in search for a plate of food, she says, but so that I can breathe the fresh air of liberty. She fought alongside Fidel Castro, thinking that he would bring back democracy.
Representative and
And
Democrat.
of course, she met the love of her life along the way, Enrique, my abuelo.
Parque canguro, ¿dónde está?
Bueno, aquí hay varios animales, pero vaya, aquí hay varios canguros, pero
¿Quiénes son?
hay varias gente aquí que parecen canguros.
Mira, tu mamá me está tocando el CULO. Mira, me está dando...
Papi.
I could say that my family story is a story of love, of war, of betrayal, of sacrifice. But ultimately, the desperate thirst for liberty.
It's amazing to have the power to tell an amazing story through a character.
We have no right to believe that freedom can be won without struggle. Che Guevara. That idea of libertad, or liberty, is one as old as conflict itself. Drawn by Fidel's movement, Reyna's grandparents joined the ranks of the revolution, met one another, and spawned the generations of their family that would follow. See, I've always been fascinated with history. A few times I myself was drawn to this beautiful island with such a complex and conflicted past. Being fortunate enough to walk these streets, taste their culture, and vibe with the people of Havana, I may have been able to see why Reyna's grandparents sacrificed to eventually flee their home country after Castro's rise to an absolute corrupting power was so pivotal. Braving threats to their lives while awaiting their one chance to come to the United States. Their feelings of betrayal was on full display when Reyna told their story from her grandmother's perspective on stage at a TEDx talk a few years back. And although her abuela made her promise to never step foot on that island while she's alive, I pray that one day Reyna finds her way back to visit the country her grandparents once loved and a place I've grown to adore.
On stage under the lights and and letting the audience into the process and into the story that you're trying to tell. It's amazing.
Rosa, you have a song called Time, and I tell you this, when I first heard the song, it was almost like time stood still. Like, it was just like, yo, this is, I mean, I love your music, but I almost forgot that this was you singing this song. Like, it just felt like timeless. Like, it was so apropos. Like, it was just felt like the perfect song. Where did that come from? Like, how did you write that song?
So I wrote that song at an Airbnb in Vermont at one of my good friend's weddings.
Okay. Interesting.
It was a few days before the wedding, and we all rented out an Airbnb, and I was kind of feeling a little anxious. I was having, because I have anxiety, I suffer from anxiety, and I was having like I don't want to say an anxiety attack, but just like one of those anxious episodes.
For sure, yeah.
And there was a piano in this back room. It was like raining outside. It was just like the perfect setting, the perfect mood for me to write this song.
Yeah.
And I was really anxious because I felt like time was just passing me by. My best friends are getting married. I have some friends that have kids. Like, I'm not getting any younger. Oh my God. And like, where has time gone?
A biological clock is ticking. Like,
that's right. Yeah. And I kind of had this moment of like, oh my God. And I just also had this moment of wanting to just go back in time, not necessarily to change anything, but just to be with my family. When my family was all together, my parents weren't divorced, and there was this sense of family. Like on Christmas Eve, all my family would get together, and my grandparents were alive, and I wish I could just go back to those moments, those precious moments, and just be more present and just relive those moments just a little while longer.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a part in my life where I felt like I could have been more present, and I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
It's okay.
Man, man, I hope this makeup really doesn't get messed up because I needed to be on for this show.
You good.
I wish I could have been more present in moments where my family was all together and my grandparents were alive.
Yeah.
Ay, Dios mío.
Mira para eso.
Okay, 1, 2. Oye, no. Rosy. Fue.
Fue Joaquín que la trató.
Sí.
No juegue,
Pero yo no vi eso.
That's where that song comes from. I just wish that I can go back in time to those beautiful moments.
Yeah. I mean, that song, when people hear it, they'll agree. I mean, just by the emotion it's just showing right now, it's evident, but it's something that everybody can relate to. And I told you before, it's the type of song that I can hear on the Grammys. Like, this, I'm serious. That's the type of song it is. It resonates with everybody who hears it.
Yeah, this song, it's about time, literally. And it's really about me just wishing that I can go back in time and just be more present in moments, just to relive those special moments. Anybody wish that they can go back in time? Yeah? Even to change things, to, just be more present in moments. For me, I would love to go back in time just to be present where my family was all together, where my grandparents were alive. They meant the world to me. So that's what this song means to me, and that's where the place that it's coming from. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Days I find myself staring at my phone, scrolling down and seeing everybody moving on. Friends are finding love and some have a kid or two, and I know that I'm heading there. Don't wanna lose my youth. I wanna pump the brakes and slow down the ride, but life's a moving train. Can't stop it if I try.
I wish that time was mine. I'd stay here and enjoy the sun, and maybe I'd press rewind.
You're a great singer, but like I said, you're a songwriter as well. Of course, you're getting these inspirations from all over the place, right? Songwriting is something that not too many, artists do write songs, but usually for other artists most of the time, or they get the songs from other artists. But you writing your own songs, it makes them feel so much more personal.
Absolutely.
And anyone who listens to you, follows your music and follows your career, I think it allows them to get a piece of you, like an authentic piece of who you are. Because again, you're not just getting these songs from elsewhere. These are your songs that you're creating from your heart and your spirit. So, like, what made you want to just continue to do that? Because some artists, they're so focused on the singing and their appearance and all that other stuff. Why do you continue to write these songs?
I feel like just really with what you were saying about just being able to write from your spirit and from who you are. Like every single song that I write is a piece of who I am.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wouldn't want it any other way, And that doesn't mean that if someone brings me a song and wants me to sing it, because I've been doing cover songs majority of my career,
Yeah.
And I can interpret it and sing the hell out of it,
From late nights on the gram to crowded subway cars in New York City, singing popular cover songs early on in her career helped Reyna Mar gain confidence in front of crowds. Performing these timeless renditions while conveying her own passions and pain through the words and melodies of others eventually allowed her to find her own voice in the process. Whether it's acoustic duos, living room jam sessions with Franco, or classic duets alongside her lovely mother Rosa, Reyna Mar is an active artist, always sharpening her skills. And who knows, if you're lucky, you can find Reina Mar serenading crowds at local spots up and down the Jersey Shore.
But there's just something different about singing something that's your own. It's almost like every song is like your child.
Yeah, no doubt. Very
it's
personal.
Such a part of you.
Yeah.
So that's just so special in itself, and I feel like that's made me want to continue doing that.
Would you write for anybody else if you had a chance?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's been times where I've written a song and I'm like, this would be cool for this person to sing, or if this person tried it, I think that they would really kill it, you know?
Yeah.
I'd feel like I'm kind of like giving my child up for adoption, but like giving them away, but I'm just like, they'll take better care of it than I can, you know?
Dance. Now we're gonna bring it up, back up again. This is called Like a Wave. It's another Latin pop song.
Speaking to Reina Mar, there's no question she recognizes all her elders gave up in order for her to have the freedom to be a singer, to be an artist. Hell, just to be.
Baby, love is an ocean, going through the low and high tides, got me going through motions,
Like the sea in which she shares her name, Reina Mar's energy is undying. On the shoulders of her forebears, she carries their light in her songs and her voice. And next time in Cuba, she's Reina Mar, I'm Moe the Mōs, and this is Opus Travel Art.
I clicked it. Oh, I just cracked my back and it felt so good.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. I look okay.
Whenever we're
We're
ready.
just
Ready?
Bro, the camera's going. What you want me to do?
Okay, no, because we're gonna shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, cool.
Ready, set, action.
Take two.
Well, you're putting your seatbelt on and shit. Like, click.
You ready?
This is your friend.
I'm trying to clap. So
This is
Y'all
your
are
friend,
so
yo.
funny, man.
All right, you.
Once I start talking, once I start talking, don't worry about it.
Listen, I'm trying to give
all right, everyone.
I'm trying to give you what's that? So clap whenever you're ready, so that you have a point.
let's all be friends.
Never.
Be
Like the way you got me moving.
Thank you guys so much.